Have you ever felt like prosperity seems to slip through your fingers, even when you try so hard? What if I told you that the key to attracting abundance could lie in a simple, almost silent gesture, done with awareness and intention? Today we're going to talk about a special ritual that combines water, cinnamon, and sugar, elements that, when used with devotion, can align your energy with the natural flow of prosperity. Before we continue, I want to ask you something from the heart. If this message resonates with you, if you feel like you're seeking more peace, abundance, and spiritual clarity, like this video and subscribe to the channel. This way, you'll join a community of people who, like you, seek to live with greater awareness, serenity, and purpose. Take a deep breath, relax, and together, we'll discover how this simple ritual can transform your life. Chapter 2. Buddhist Wisdom on Abundance. In Buddhism, true abundance is not measured solely by money or possessions. It arises from a state of inner harmony, a peaceful mind, and an open heart. Masters have always taught that material wealth can come and go, like the seasons. But true prosperity, the kind that gives meaning to life, is the ability to be at peace with oneself and share that peace with the world. When we practice small rituals, like the one we're about to explore together, we're not just moving external elements, we're actually training the mind to align thoughts and emotions with the natural flow of life. Abundance, in this view, is not a coincidence, but a reflection of our consciousness. And by cultivating clear intentions, we can attract both material prosperity and spiritual serenity. But there is something even deeper in the symbolism of these elements. Chapter 3. The Symbolism of Cinnamon and Sugar. Throughout many spiritual traditions, certain elements of nature have been seen as bridges between the visible and invisible worlds. Cinnamon and sugar are two of these elements. Cinnamon carries the heat of fire. Its aroma awakens, activates, and moves stagnant energies. It is a symbol of protection and prosperity, as it warms the heart and propels life forward, like a flame illuminating the path. Sugar, in turn, represents the gentleness and sweetness of life. It attracts harmonious energies, soothes the heart, and reminds us that true wealth lies not only in having, but in savoring each moment with gratitude. When we combine cinnamon and sugar with water, we are uniting two essential aspects of abundance: the active force that opens the paths and the sweetness that softens the journey. It is like the balance between the sun and the moon, between firmness and delicacy, and it is precisely in this balance that life flourishes. But to understand better, we need to look at the ritual itself and the special day on which it should be performed. Chapter 4. The Water Ritual on October 20th. Now we come to the central point of this reflection: the water ritual with cinnamon and sugar. In Buddhism and many spiritual traditions, specific dates carry symbolic energy. October 20th is a propitious time to renew intentions, like an open door between what we wish to leave behind and what we are ready to receive. This ritual is not about instant magic. It is a training of the mind and a silent prayer, connecting your thoughts and feelings to the natural flow of abundance. Therefore, each step should be done calmly, as if it were a meditation, the spiritualized step by step. Prepare the water. Choose a glass or jug of clean water. Hold the container for a few seconds and breathe deeply. As you breathe, imagine that this water is like a crystal clear mirror, capable of reflecting the life you wish to create. Clear, fluid, and abundant. Add the cinnamon. Add a small pinch of cinnamon. Smell the aroma expanding. Cinnamon is the fire that warms and moves, that opens paths and dissolves blockages. As you add it, visualize doors opening before you, opportunities, solutions, encounters, prosperity flowing like a river. Add the sugar. Now add a pinch of sugar. Notice how it gently mixes with the water, bringing balance. Sugar symbolizes the sweetness of life, harmony in relationships, and the ability to savor small pleasures. As you add it, feel your life become lighter, more serene, and more harmonious. Stir consciously. Take a spoon and stir slowly, in circular motions. As you stir, keep your gaze on the water and mentally maintain a simple intention, such as, may this water wash away all scarcity and bring abundance, peace, and prosperity into my heart and life. Remain in this gesture for a few seconds, as if each turn of the spoon were a Dharma wheel turning, setting your life in motion. Silence and breathing. When finished, close your eyes and bring your attention to your breathing. Feel the calm that arises from this small act. Realize that the ritual is not just external. It is already happening within you, transforming thoughts, dissolving fears, and awakening confidence. The deeper meaning, the cinnamon, sugar, and water are merely vehicles. The real power lies in your intention, in your faith, and in the way you open your heart to life. This ritual is a reminder that abundance is not asked for in desperation, but rather invited in with serenity, like opening the windows of your house to welcome the morning sun. And by performing this gesture on October 20th, you will not be simply repeating a custom. You will be saying to the universe, and to yourself, I am ready to live with more abundance, gratitude, and balance. But to understand the power of this practice even more deeply, we need to look at metaphors and examples from everyday life, which show us how small gestures can transform great journeys. Chapter 5: Concrete Examples and Spiritual Metaphors. To better understand the power of this ritual, we can look at simple examples from life. Think of a garden. When you pour water on a seed, at first nothing seems to happen. But hidden beneath the earth, life is already being awakened. The same occurs with the cinnamon and sugar ritual. You may not see immediate results, but something silent is already beginning to germinate in your life. Now imagine a river. It encounters rocks, curves, and obstacles in its path, but it never stops flowing. Cinnamon, in this case, is like the current that gives strength and movement. Sugar, like the gentleness of water that adapts and bypasses obstacles. Together, they teach that prosperity is not the absence of challenges, but the ability to continue flowing with balance. We can also remember the small practices, spiritual practices, that so many people have cultivated throughout their lives. Lighting a candle, praying silently, offering flowers at an altar, or even giving thanks before a meal. Simple gestures, made with clear intention, have the power to change the atmosphere of the home, the heart, and even the events around us. In Buddhism, there is a parable about a monk who filled a pot with clean water every day and placed it before the image of Buddha. A disciple asked him why he did this, since the water evaporated and needed to be changed. The master replied, "It is not the water that Buddha needs, but my heart that is purified each time I make the gesture." The same is true with cinnamon and sugar. It is not the universe that needs them, but our minds that are transformed when we practice with faith. And if we think about everyday life, how many times has a small habit changed the course of your life? Perhaps a daily walk that brought better health, a word of gratitude that strengthened a relationship, or even a silent prayer that brought peace in difficult times. The ritual we are learning here is part of this same logic. Small acts, great transformations. Therefore, when you prepare your water with cinnamon and sugar, remember that you are not just stirring ingredients. You are creating an invisible bridge between what you desire and what life has to offer. You are saying to the universe, I open myself to receive, with courage and gentleness, the blessings that belong to me. And it is at this point that the ritual reveals its most subtle effects, those that often go unnoticed but which profoundly transform our energy. Chapter 6: Hidden Effects of the Ritual. The gesture of mixing cinnamon and sugar in water may seem too simple to carry great power. But in the silence of practice, profound effects begin to reveal themselves. First, an inner effect emerges. By performing the ritual with mindfulness, you begin to dissolve that feeling of lack, of scarcity, that so often accompanies us throughout life. It's as if for a few moments, the mind stops repeating, "I don't have, I can't," and learns to say, "Life can be generous to me." Then comes the emotional effect. The water, sweetened by the presence of cinnamon and sugar, awakens feelings of trust and acceptance. It's like opening a window in a dark room. Light slowly enters, and suddenly you realize there was beauty all around, just waiting to be illuminated. This subtle shift in the heart makes us more receptive to the opportunities that arise. There's also an energetic effect. Buddhism reminds us that the mind creates the world we live in. When we cultivate thoughts of gratitude, abundance, and trust, we attract situations that vibrate at the same frequency. The ritual, therefore, functions as a daily reminder. I choose to align my energy with prosperity. And we can't forget the spiritual effect. By blending these elements with awareness, we practice letting go of absolute control. We recognize that we don't need to force life to be a specific way. We can simply trust the flow, knowing that abundance manifests when we allow space for it to flourish. These effects appear not like a sudden flash of lightning, but like the sunrise. Darkness doesn't disappear all at once, but gently gives way to light. In the same way, the ritual transforms us little by little, until one day we realize that we no longer think of scarcity, but of abundance. The real secret lies here. Before abundance manifests externally, it has already been born within you. And it is this inner shift that ensures that the prosperity that comes from without is not lost, but remains as an enduring state of being. And by understanding these hidden effects, it becomes clear that the ritual goes far beyond a symbolic gesture. It is a gateway to living in tune with universal values, which illuminate life's entire journey. Chapter 7: Connection with Universal Values. As we mature in life, we learn that abundance isn't limited to the money we save in the bank or the possessions we've managed to acquire. It is found in the experiences that shaped us, in the people who walked alongside us, in the memories that warm our hearts. Buddhism teaches us that true prosperity is a state of balance between giving and receiving, between acting and trusting, between knowing how to let go and knowing how to welcome. The cinnamon and sugar water ritual reminds us of precisely this. Life is made of warmth and sweetness, of moments when we need the courage to move forward, and others when we need to smooth the path with compassion and tenderness. For those who have gone through many phases, prosperity takes on a new meaning. It's not just about accumulating, but about learning to value the health that allows you to get up in the morning. Time with family, which becomes increasingly precious. The small pleasures of everyday life, a hot coffee, a sincere smile, the shade of a tree on a sunny day. These are signs of wealth that often go unnoticed when we focus solely on the material aspect. And here's an essential point. When we cultivate gratitude for the simple things, we create an energy that naturally attracts more blessings. It's like a spring that, when tended, never runs dry. The more we recognize what we already have, the more life opens up to give us. In Buddhism, there's a beautiful image that each phase of life is like a season. Autumn brings falling leaves, but it also shows us the beauty of renewal. Winter teaches us about reflection and patience, and spring arrives with flowers, as a reminder that nothing is in vain. So too are the cycles of abundance. Each stage has a greater purpose, which can only be seen by those who observe with serene eyes. Therefore, abundance is not just a result to be achieved, but a path to be taken. And when we walk with gratitude, compassion, and trust, we realize that we are rich in ways that go far beyond what money can buy. True prosperity is feeling fulfilled in the present, even as we continue to sow for the future. Chapter 8. Inner Abundance as the Source of All Wealth. We often spend our lives believing that prosperity is out there, in something we need to achieve, in some distant place we haven't yet reached. But Buddhist teachings remind us of something essential. All true abundance begins within. When we cultivate serenity in our hearts, the mind stops chasing illusions and begins to see the opportunities that have always been present. When we develop compassion, we realize that wealth is not only in receiving, but also in sharing. And when we awaken trust, we understand that even difficult moments are part of a larger cycle, which prepares the ground for new fruits. It's like a tree. If its roots are deep, it can withstand winds, storms, and even periods of drought. Likewise, if we cultivate strong roots within ourselves, faith, patience, gratitude, then life may shake us, but it won't knock us down, and sooner or later, the fruits will come. This inner abundance expresses itself in simple things: the calm of conscious breathing, the joy of sharing food, the peace of sleeping with a light heart, knowing you did the best you could that day. When we learn to recognize this silent richness, something surprising happens. The outside world begins to reflect this same energy. Opportunities arise, doors open, relationships become more harmonious. It's as if life responds. You already understand that you are rich on the inside, so now I can offer you wealth on the outside as well. The cinnamon and sugar ritual is, in fact, a reminder. It's not about turning water into gold, but about transforming the way we see life. And when this transformation occurs, what once seemed scarce begins to multiply before us. Thus, the greatest achievement of all is understanding that the true source of prosperity is not in the external world, but in your heart. Chapter 9. Preparing to receive with gratitude. There is no point in inviting prosperity if your heart is not ready to receive it. It is like preparing a banquet and leaving the door locked. The guest arrives, but cannot enter. On the spiritual path, the key that opens this door is gratitude. Giving thanks is not just a polite gesture, but a profound practice, capable of changing the way we see life. When we are grateful for the little, we create space for the much. When we recognize the small blessings, the food we have, the body that sustains us, someone's sincere friendship, even the silence of a peaceful morning, then we awaken within ourselves the energy of abundance, and life, generously, responds with more of what we already know to value. In Buddhism, there is a clear understanding. An ungrateful mind is like a leaky vase, never able to retain what it receives. But a grateful mind is like a serene lake, capable of reflecting sunlight in all its beauty. Gratitude teaches us to hold prosperity lightly, without fear of losing it, because we understand that everything is in flux. Therefore, on October 20th, when preparing your cinnamon and sugar water, don't just do the mechanical gesture. Set your intention to be grateful. Be thankful for what you've already experienced, for the opportunities you've had, for the people who have accompanied you, and even for the challenges that have made you stronger. You can even silently repeat a simple phrase, such as, "I am grateful for all that I have already received, and I open my heart to welcome the blessings that are yet to come." This small act of gratitude transforms the ritual into something much greater, a silent prayer, a preparation of the inner ground for abundance to flourish. Because in the end, it's not just prosperity that comes to us. It's also the peace of knowing that, with a grateful heart, we will never truly be empty. And when we walk with gratitude, compassion, and trust, we realize that we are rich in ways that go far beyond what money can buy. True prosperity is feeling fulfilled in the present, even as we continue to sow for the future. Chapter 10, Final Reflection, plus Audience Question. Perhaps now you realize that true prosperity lies not only in the ritual itself, but in what it awakens within you. Cinnamon and sugar are symbols, but what truly attracts abundance is your intention, your open heart, and your willingness to receive life with gratitude. Each small gesture can be a portal to great transformations. And by allowing yourself to practice this practice, you may discover that abundance was already present, just waiting to be recognized. Take a deep breath for a moment. Feel that you already have within you everything you need to flourish. And now, I ask you, what abundance does your heart desire most at this moment? Material wealth, spiritual serenity, or the sweetness of human relationships? Share in the comments, as your words may inspire others who walk this journey with you. Chapter 11. If this reflection spoke to your heart, remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel. This way, you'll continue walking alongside a community of seekers of peace, prosperity, and inner wisdom. Also, share it with someone you love, as a simple message can transform the day of those who need to hear it most. And if you want to continue this journey, watch the next video that appears here on the screen. In it, we'll explore how small rituals of gratitude can open even more paths to prosperity and serenity in your life. I'll be waiting for you there, with the same calm, the same presence, and the same light. See you soon. Namaste.